Most of us are familiar with setting goals to improve our lives. But what if I told you there's something even more transformative than goal setting? It's a concept championed by Tim Ferriss, the author of The 4-Hour Workweek. It's called fear setting, and it could be the key to unlocking a life of freedom and fulfillment. Let's start with a question. Why do we often fail to pursue the things we truly desire? Is it because we lack motivation or resources? More often than not, it's because we're paralyzed by fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, or even fear of success. These fears operate in the background, quietly steering us away from what could truly change our lives. Ferriss suggests that instead of just setting goals, we take the time to define our fears in detail. Why? Because fears lose much of their power when they are dragged into the light. Here's how fear setting works. First, write down your fears. Be brutally honest. What's the absolute worst that could happen if you take the leap you're considering? For example, if you're thinking of quitting your job to start a business, you might list fears like, I'll run out of money, I'll look like a fool, or I'll lose my career momentum. Next, ask yourself, how likely are these worst-case scenarios to actually happen? More often than not, you'll realize they're less probable than they seem. Fear thrives on vagueness. When you force yourself to describe it in detail, its hold on you weakens. Then, identify how you could mitigate these risks. Could you build a safety net, like saving 3 months of living expenses before making the leap? Could you prepare by learning new skills or networking in your desired field? Finally, think about how you would recover if the worst did happen. This step is crucial. Many fears lose their power when you realize you can bounce back. For instance, if your business fails, could you return to a similar job or pivot to another opportunity? The human spirit is remarkably resilient, but we often forget this when we're stuck in fear. But why is fear setting more liberating than goal setting? Because it doesn't just focus on what you want, it forces you to confront what's holding you back. Goals are great for clarity and direction, but fear setting clears the path. It helps you build the courage to take action, not by eliminating fear entirely, but by reducing its power over you. Here's a real-world example. Imagine you've always wanted to travel the world, but haven't because of fear. You fear running out of money, missing out on career opportunities, or even disappointing loved ones. When you sit down and define these fears, you might realize that saving a travel fund could address the money issue, or that you could take a sabbatical instead of quitting your job. Suddenly, the dream that once seemed so risky now feels manageable. By defining your fears, you take control. Instead of being reactive, letting fear dictate your choices, you become proactive, building a plan to manage and overcome it. So, here's your challenge. Take 10 minutes today. Write down one thing you've been avoiding because of fear. Define the worst-case scenario. Plan how to reduce the risks and recover from failure. You might be surprised to find that the thing you're most afraid of isn't as scary as you thought. Remember, life is short. The biggest risk is often not taking one at all. Define your fears, face them, and watch as the path to your goals becomes clearer than ever before. If this video resonated with you, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs a motivational boost. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips to help you crush your goals. See you in the next video.